the Bay, that's me. That's us, that's my team. We gon' do it for the Bay, though. Forever we faithful. Forever we faithful. Not again. Forever we faithful.
Forever we faithful. Niner my gang, whoa, that back came real fast. I feel like Usain Bolt. These teams not like us, they not in the same boat. We beat all the big teams, we got all the big rings. That red and that gold, we ball never fold. Grind, stay in that mold, another ring is the goal. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. It's a scary sight, a Niner jersey and a cut. Faithful to the Bay, the Niner gang, yeah, we up, living plush. Soon as you look up, another touch. Damn, it ain't next year, it's our year. Now, crowd full of red, white, and gold, screaming loud. Let's get it in, let's get it in. Niner gang, another win. Let's get it in, let's get it in.
Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Fair Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Freeman, joined by me is my co-host Deon Johnson, who has stepped away real quick to do something. But today we're back. We're here next week. Next game, 49ers versus Giants. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's get right into it, man. All right, D, talk to me, man. What does this team have to do to bounce back and get a dub against a okay Giants team?
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely going to be a rough one. It'll be a good game. Two teams with injuries looking to, play for just about anything at this point. Niners still got a shot in their division, but the Giants, not so much. You know what I'm saying? They're losing games by an average of 9 points per game, and their biggest loss this year was an 18-point L, just handed to them by the Eagles last week. The Niners didn't fare much better. Last week, losing to the Texans by 11. If you notice, all of our losses have been by 11 except for the one to the Jags. That was only by 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But again, this week, there'll be no Brock Purdy or Ricky Pearsall. Both injuries are extremely concerning. We just paid Brock a ridiculous amount of money and have seen him twice this year. Pearsall is still up in the air. He's still up and coming, and we need to see more from him to gauge what type of receiver he'll be. But, there's not a lot of tape for him, and he's a first-round pick. I know last year he dealt with the unfortunate shooting injury, and now it's a PCL sprain. If he doesn't play at all this year, it's looking like we wasted another first-round pick on a guy who can't even get on the field. How do you feel about these two injuries just to that point? Because that's like that sucks, man. Like, I'm like, come on, guys, we got to do something. Yeah. Like, you got Brock Purdy just, he ain't here. You got Kyle up at the podium seeming agitated whenever anybody asks about him, because now his answers are going back to, when Brock feels ready. He'll tell us.
Yeah. Ricky's injury, I think he really hurt it like a lot more. That game that he landed on his knee hella bad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're just being precautionary, right, for Ricky. With Brock, I think it's more because we're playing at MetLife and he doesn't want to re-injure. They don't want him to re-injure that turf, or turf, I should say. Still fucking waking up, can't even talk right. But I think they're waiting for Purdy to go back in against the Rams next week. I think that's what their plan is. But it still doesn't make sense why he would dress up tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be the backup quarterback. So you're telling me there's a chance. So to me, my biggest thing with these injuries is, number one, is to your quarterback who just paid a ridiculous sum of money. And then it's to your first round receiver that everybody jumped on at the end of the year because, he started coming on a little bit. I'm not on that train yet because I ain't seen enough. Everybody knows me. I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to jump on the gravy train just because somebody had one good game, or they had, you got to string together some consecutive seasons for me to be putting a lot of faith in you, putting a lot of stock in what you can do on the field. We honestly really haven't seen much of anything from Ricky Pearsall. You know what I mean? Last year, he, dealt with the injury and whatnot. And, he came in this year, and we were hoping that this could be, you know, the number 2 guy behind BA when BA got back, but we haven't seen him. What's up, Bebop? We haven't seen him, and it's just a little frustrating, honestly, because I'm kind of like, you know, hey, good morning, Mom. It's a little frustrating to me, man. I'm like, I don't understand, like, what the issue is. You know, like, we always, our first round picks never work out outside of Nick Bosa, you know what I'm saying, and Brandon Ayuk. And Ayuk right now, you know, he still had himself a little bit of an up and down situation, you know, because we still ain't seen him. We don't even know when he's coming back. So, you know, I mean, it would be nice for the week against the Rams for us to see Ayuk active and Pearsall active and Brock Purdy back, you know, and have, you know, all the host of weapons that we would normally have. But, you know, one thing you got to take away from that is you got to give Mac Jones credit, man. He's going out there winning with whoever he can throw the ball to. And
he's hurt on top of that.
Yeah, Mac Jones is running out there with every type of injury you could think of. Is either a hip or a knee or an oblique, and it's all kinds of things. Now, I understand the injury with Brock Purdy is a little bit more serious and it's a little rough because it's on his plant foot. But at the end of the day, you know, Mac Jones is 4-2. You can't really ask for much more from your backup. And if he goes 5-2, you know what I mean? That's definitely a good thing. That means he held the fort down better than, you know, just about any backup would in the league. And
true. That is true.
We just have to take a look at that and take it with a grain of salt and say, hey, man, you know, we got a viable dude who can go out there and win some games. Yes, our schedule has been a little bit light, but as you can see, man, we only 5-3. You know what I'm saying? We not out here, you know, at 8-0 or something. You know, it's a little bit different. But we doing what injuries. You know, and then these injuries have been murdering us all years. And I mean, hey, they got the Giants too. They lost Neighbors earlier in the year. They just lost Scatterboo in the last game. So, you know, they running out there with a bunch of ragtag dudes just like we are, man. It's just, you know, the only thing for them is their defense hasn't necessarily taken much of a hit. Like, the only people out for the Giants outside of the obvious with Neighbors, Scatterboo, and whatnot, it's just going to be Paulson Adebo and Chauncey Golson. So Paulson Adebo is a big hit to their secondary because he is a really good defensive back. But that doesn't mean anything because I still have more information that's going to tell us we still got to be mindful of what we're doing with these Giants because their defense is their strong suit where their offense hasn't been. So tell me what you think, you know what I'm saying, we have to guard against with the Giants when it comes to offense.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I do have to say this year, the Giants defense is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And I mean, that line definitely gets to the quarterback for sure. And that's where our issue is on the offense line of the ball, where our O-line can't protect worth shit. And that's why we got fucking murdered last week against the Texans. Couldn't do shit at all.
Yeah,
I think real quick though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the way we have to win this game is fucking like we did 2 weeks ago against Atlanta. Run the fucking ball down their throats. If that works, everything else will start working. We noticed it didn't work last week, right? And we kind of went away from it, and then nothing else was working. Shit was just hitting the fan every single fucking drive. We couldn't do shit until what? End of the second quarter?
Yeah.
So we need to start off hot too to help our defense.
Yeah, we got to have some long drives, man, because that last game, the lopsided time of possession was insane. We had the defense on the field for almost 42 minutes. That's pretty much 3/4 of the game, people. The game's only 60 minutes long from a technical standpoint. Each quarter is 15 minutes. 15 times 4 is 60. So you had your defense on the field for 3/4 of the game. Yeah.
What's up, Tommy?
What's up, Tommy? Way to come in with the zingers, bro. He went straight for it. He pulled no punches.
Interesting. Have you tried that before?
I mean, dog and cat puke cocktail. Nah, I think I'm gonna pass. It's a hard pass on that one. But to be honest, when it comes to it, you know what I'm saying? Either way, we got to do what we got to do.
The boy, our boy Silverado Kev. What's
Silverado
up, man?
Kev in the building. Shout out to Real Talk, Niner Talk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them, man, doing big things, doing great work. I believe they'll be on later today. They usually do their game previews on Saturday. So, yeah, we'll be catching y'all a little bit later.
Yeah.
Kev.
Niner getting over everything. Always.
Well, he said 8 a.m. I can't deal with good. Kev said he's a little too early for my liking now. Y'all.
Kev, my brother, bro, that's killing me too. I'm gonna have to be honest. I'm still waking
up.
Yeah,
it is. Hey, look, Kev, I gotta wake him up. I'm the early bird. He'll put the whole thing together. I gotta wake him up to make sure he up.
Your boy went out last night for Halloween till like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh,
so I'm on like 4 hours of sleep.
9 o'clock. I have no idea why you would have done that. If I'd have got home at 3:30, you wouldn't see me till about 12.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, we're committed. We just got to get it done.
I feel you. So we gotta do what we gotta do with the players that we have in the Mac attack. You know what I'm saying? We won't have Pearsall, Gross Matos, Bryce Huff, or Jake Brindle. I don't care that Jake Brindle is in.
Yeah, same.
Gross Matos, I could care less. I'm so tired of him. I just want them to cut him.
He reactivated his hamstring again.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the problem with him. That's the number one problem. So, sidebar. If you go on Facebook, Stephen A will give you a shot to chat to possibly, you got to send him something, let him know what it is, give him a hot take. And then if, you can get on, you can get on. I gave him my hot take of why Kyle Shanahan should not be the head coach. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping he get back to me because I can go on there and blow it out the box. And I can piss a lot of people on X off. Oh my gosh. Because in those X spaces, they hate me. They do not like me. They all hate me.
Been in those.
Yeah, because you've heard it. You've seen the vitriol they throw at me and try to call me stupid and everything. But the difference between me and them is I'm looking at the big picture. Y'all are looking at all of the good things. Y'all don't look at nothing bad. It's like y'all act like people are perfect. Nobody's perfect. Unless your name is Jesus, you ain't perfect. I'm sorry. But
definitely gotta get our boy Sersky on here so y'all can
debate. No, he mad at me too. Yeah.
I remember that day he was, man.
He went off, man, and I told him because he said every year, and I had to cut him off. No, it's not every year. I'm sorry. What happened last year? Because if every year he puts us in a position to win, then we should be in the playoffs every year. And unfortunately, we have not been. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully
let's just say we get into the playoffs with how injured our team has been this year.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle get coach of the year.
With all the injuries,
that one more time to cut out.
He should be, top 1 or 2 candidate at a bare minimum. If he can take it, I've always said this, people. It's very simple. Kyle Shanahan, when he gets to the playoffs with the Niners, does not go anywhere less than the NFC Championship game. You're not putting them out in the divisional round. You're not doing none of that. No wild card, none of that. Kyle when he gets to the playoffs, that is his track record. Playoffs, he does nothing less than the NFC Championship. Now, this year, I don't know. This is a big, long shot. It's very, very different. This dude right here, man, I can't do it.
Fucking Tommy, I can't with him.
But no, at the end of the day, man, Daniel Jones is good because he went somewhere. Simple. Sometimes a change of scenery is better. If I'm not mistaken, Jake Moody been money over there with the Bears. I think one block field goal, but he can't do nothing about the blocks. That's the line. They got to do their job. So, look, change of scenery. Kids are doing better. Hey, our kicker called him and, wished him good luck and told him, hey, man, kind of dispel all the negative energy from guys like me. Just go out there and kick. So it is what it is. But when it comes to this game, you know what I'm saying? We also just traded for I think it was Keon White, if I'm not mistaken. Is that his name?
White got him early in the week. Yep.
Yeah.
Edge help for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. He's a nobody who hasn't done anything in this league and he was on the bench for the Patriots with Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel is a defensive coach. So that's enough. I know everyone is gonna believe that Chris Kaserik and Robert Saleh can turn him into a star since they have a good track record with reclamation projects, but we'll see. I'm not going to jump on the road and be all high on this guy. I don't know enough, and I haven't seen anything that wows me. I know Baldy did a little bit of a breakdown on him, but I mean, there's minimal tape on the dude, and you got Niner fans over here just, yeah, man, Keon, I'm like, he ain't done nothing, he ain't nobody.
Well, dude, when we sent the message in the group chat, all of us were like, so nobody.
Yeah, there's like who. I'm sorry. Like for me, my thing is when you make a trade, and you know you need help, go after somebody who really has done something in this league. Go after someone you feel is going to actually be worth your time or worth those picks that you're giving away. You know what I'm saying? To come out here and contribute. But you go after nobody knows who this dude is. And that's fine that he destroyed my ladder. How long ago was that? When did that even happen? No one would know. You know why? Because the dude's never on the field. Now, yes, we all know Jordan Mailata from the Philadelphia Eagles is a very, very good offensive lineman and, a massive Samoan. But my thing is you did that, but obviously Mike Vrabel is a defensive head coach. That's his specialty. Mike Vrabel ain't no offensive dude. Why do you think Josh McDaniels back in the building? To run the offense while he runs the defense. But at the end of the day, Mike Vrabel knows defensive talent. And he didn't see any talent in his kid to even put him on the field. So I don't know. I'm a wait and see kind of guy on somebody. If he comes out and he performs, that's great. If he doesn't perform, that means I ain't getting myself, too high on a player that ain't doing much of nothing, Oh, well, yeah, I mean, sometimes certain people don't fit a 3-4. You know what I'm saying? There are certain people that just won't, Okay, well, all right. So Tommy has done his homework. So I guess we'll have to see, what may come.
Yeah. So real quick, I did see on X that Deanna Rusi, if I'm pronouncing her name right, she said that the Niners actually did call Cincinnati about Hendrickson.
Okay.
Which I'm actually kind of surprised, to be honest.
Well, we can't make no more moves, Tommy. I think the trade deadline came and went, or I don't know.
I think it's next week.
Next week? Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But I mean, personally, like we can't keep giving away our picks, man. Our late round picks are where we actually hit. That's where we actually make our money. Most of our round 1 through 4 picks don't necessarily always work out the best, And I mean, you got to think about it. Look at our first round pick last year.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're good. Our first round pick last year, unfortunately, was just out and about in the town. Somebody attempted to rob and got shot. Oh, okay, there you go. Oh, okay, that's when the trade deadline is. All right. But first round pick, unfortunately, wound up being shot. So we had to wait forever to see him. Now, this year, he played 2 games. He got a PCL sprain. He ain't been able to get back on the field. You know what I'm saying? Mike McGlinchey was a great run blocker, horrible pass blocker. And now he's over in Denver doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Nick Bosa, really good dude, but he's literally missed 2 full years. Oh, he would have got it. Oh, that's smooth. He would have got the 97 though. Yeah, no, that jersey is fly. I like it. I like it a lot. But that's basically what it's been like. Our first round picks, unfortunately, just have not been the best. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you love Nick Bosa, but he's missed two full years. Like these are things that happen, people, and it's very frustrating as a fan to just watch us continually screw up with these first round picks. And yes, you give Nick Bosa credit for doing what he does when he's healthy, but unfortunately, man, like I said, he's been in the league since what, 2019? Yeah,
Yep.
2019 we drafted him, and we technically speaking, he's missed 2 years, and that's rough, man. Like that's the worst because you want your top tier players out there on the field, but we just seem to not be able to pick people the right way. But either way, when it comes down to it, for the Giants, they'll be without some big names as well. They lost Neighbors for the season earlier this year. They just lost Scatterboo last week with that nasty ankle injury. And then, like I said, in this game, out for them are Paulson Adebo, Chauncey Golston. And they have a few questionable players, but it is. We all know questionable means you'll play. Without Scatterboo, they'll look to Tyrone Tracy to run the rock, and we got to be mindful of Jackson Dart and his legs. He's averaging 4.5 yards a carry when he runs, and we unfortunately have a bad history with mobile QBs. So what do you think about that as far as like our defense and going up against a run game?
Dude, as long as we could freaking apply pressure back there, dude, we should be fine. Like how they did against Atlanta. I don't know what the fuck happened last week. They made CJ Stroud look like he was a fucking MVP out there. So
what happened last week was the fact that CJ Stroud had all day in the pocket, and unfortunately, he had all day in the pocket along with
there was no pressure.
Yeah,
no pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, we couldn't do much of anything on offense. When you leave a quarterback on the field for almost 42 minutes, he's bound to dice you up at some point. He's got to find something. Because I'm sorry, if that TOP would have been lopsided and they took like that and they took an L, that's an indictment on their offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's an indictment on our offense last week because we couldn't even get into field goal range.
We couldn't even get a first down for a minute.
We just looked bad. But to be honest with you, the reason we lost last week was because we didn't even try to run the ball. Kyle went pass heavy against a defense that was in the top 5 of everything, which didn't make any sense. I don't understand that. I don't understand why you wouldn't go in there and try to run the ball, or at least balance the offense out more. We were pass heavy. I think it was like 70% pass.
Tried at first and saw it wasn't working, so then he went to pass.
Yeah, but you don't have any receivers. Who are you throwing to?
Well,
they stopped after Kittle scored. I think did Kittle score? Yeah, Kittle scored. I think it was Kittle and I forgot who else, but that was it. Tonjes, yeah. And oddly enough, after the game, that pass, that TD pass he snagged was supposed to be for Kittle. And then when you look at the replay, you're thankful that Tonjes snagged it because that was an interception waiting to happen. Where that ball was placed, that DB was perfect in prime position to snatch that. Prime position. Kittle would have had to come back, and it possibly could have been offensive PI in the dang end zone, and that's the worst thing that could happen. You know what I'm saying? But I think that this game is definitely one where you want to run the ball against them.
Run first, pass after.
Exactly. Doesn't look like the Giants, go to their receivers much. Their tight ends are the ones to watch. That means that Winters, Malik Mustafa, Jair Brown, they're going to have their hands full with those duties. Theo Johnson is their leading their team with 4 touchdowns. And right behind him is a guy, Bellinger, and he's got 3. So we just need to be stout in the run game, block up these tight ends, and we should be good. Mm-hmm. Dart's averaging getting sacked twice a game, so that bodes well for the defense. Defensively, we got to be mindful with this O-line we have. We may see a switch at left guard. I believe I heard them talking about possibly throwing in Spencer Burford now that he's healthy and possibly sitting Connor Colby. But what do you think about that?
I mean, that's cool. Get Burford, out there, get some reps in and everything. I mean, personally, one of them needs to replace fucking McKivitz. That motherfucker's killing me.
I mean, once again, this is where in those X spaces they don't like me. Why? Because I tell them the truth. Things like, hey,
how does anybody like fucking McKivitz? He's the one fucking giving up all the sacks.
And then I remind them your head coach and your O-line coach picked this kid. They thought he was that great.
And re-signed him.
And re-signed him. Gave him a contract to stay at right tackle. This is your head coach and your O-line coach. And you know what the excuse will be. Oh man, well, what are we supposed to do? I don't know, but you don't re-sign a dude that can't do the job and give him money.
I'll tell you what you're supposed to do.
Just
tell that fucking organization to go draft a fucking O-line like we've been saying for the past 7 years.
I mean, it would. But
you guys got so focused on the defensive line this past draft. Why can't you fucking be focused on the offensive line fucking for the past 7 years?
Our draft this year was centered around defense. We drafted Jordan Watkins, another kid who ain't been on the field because he injured. And then when he did get on the field last week, I think it was like 1 or 2 plays, which didn't make any sense. I think it was in garbage time. And we drafted Junior Bergen, who's now on the practice squad and most likely will never see the field because Sky Moore is the returner. Or they put Brian Robinson back there, which has been different. You know what I mean? And the only other guy that's actually seen the field offensively has been Connor Colby, and he is a 7th round offensive lineman, people. 7th round. Not 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, 7th. Like late. I think he's either 6th.
So many good O linemen in this draft, too.
And we had the opportunity to get a few of them, but what did we do? We Sala came back, and we basically gave Sala the first 6 picks almost. I think, the first 5 were all defense. So next year, Kyle needs to take the reins and say, you know what? We need to focus on this offense. We need to get some offensive linemen. We definitely gonna need some receivers. So there's just different things that go on with it, man. But one of the guys they got is one of my favorite guys in the league right now, in Brian Burns, who's already at 10 sacks on the year. Right behind him is Kayvon Thibodeau. He's got 2.5. Yeah, he's got 2.5. The rest of the sacks are kind of all over the place. It looks like mainly double teams. So a lot of these guys have like half the sack. So that means they're coming in together and creating that pressure. Giants only have 4 interceptions on the year, but they do have 43 passes defense. 43. That means that they are knocking the ball down at a very high rate. That means the quarterback's completion percentage on them is not necessarily the best. Drew Phillips will be a problem as he leads the team with 9 passes defense. He has 2 interceptions. We got another guy named Cordell Flott. He's got 7 passes defense and 1 interception. So we got to avoid those 2 people at all costs when we're throwing the football. Flott and Phillips should not be tested because throughout this season they're proving, try me. I want you to F around and find out. And we don't want to purposely go at dudes that are their top tier of, pass defenders. We got to be very, very good. We got to do what we got to do on that. So for us, our injury report is obviously very simple. The questionable guys were Brock Purdy, D. Winters, Ben Barch, Sammy O, Jordan Elliott, and Spencer Burford. Out of all of those dudes, I do think Barch is not going to play, obviously. And of course, Purdy ain't going to play. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, everybody else is probably going to be on the field doing their thing. I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with D. Winters. I think sometimes when cats get a little more nicked up than usual, they kind of just, let them take a practice or 2 off, just give them a little extra rest and just let them do treatment, stuff like that. And then they make them do like that final practice that they have to do, technically speaking, to actually even be eligible to play on today. You know what I'm saying? And that's just trying to manage injuries properly. I'm not mad at that at all. Like, that doesn't bother me. But it does bother me when you keep holding on to injury-prone players who don't do nothing for this team to suck up cash and waste a roster spot. Like Etor Gross Matos is right now. He every single year, and it drives me absolutely insane every year. Why on earth do we continue to hold on to guys who have no business being here?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, they should not be around if they're just consistently injured. I don't know why you hold on to dudes. And people will give you the dumbest excuse in the world, which drives me insane. oh, potential. I don't want to hold on to potential. I want to see it realized on the field. Who want to hold on to potential? If that's the case, people would hold on to a lot of stuff they not even supposed to keep. Hoarders would be validated in keeping all the crap that they keep and you know, being mad at folks when they want to move stuff or take stuff away or get it out because it's too much. Like, you know, start realizing when some dudes they ain't got it, they can't stay injured. I mean, they can't stay healthy, and it is what it is. You know, I mean, hell, why do you think that the chat is nicknamed Dignity 49ers? we out here with every injury, no.
We're always hurting, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But the other thing, let's see here. We got a lot of defensive linemen that have passes defense as well. Their run defense is a little bipolar. They have games where it's great, and then, you know, mostly games where it's horrible. In their losses,
Right.
The Eagles, they allowed 200-yard rushers. Saquon and the other guy for the Eagles, 200-yard rushers. And for the season, they're averaging giving up 148 yards rushing. You know what I'm saying? That's great news for the Niners. That means we feed McCaffrey and Robinson, take advantage of that. It's only 2 times this season where they have not allowed 100-yard rushers. So that should be something for us, man. We should be able to get through that and make sure that things work out for us. You know, I say Kyle needs to just go back to what we used to do. Use the run to set up the pass.
Yep.
You do that, and you can dice up a defense that's, you know, that's good, but it's not over the top great. And heck, I mean, if their run defense is, you know, that bad, where they're giving up 148 yards a game, and you just gave up 100 yards rushing to 2 running backs last week. They gave up 276 yards running in total. So that means if I looked at all that tape, if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm going to run that ball to no end.
Yes.
I'm gonna look at Christian and Brian and go, y'all ready for a full workload today? Christian, you get about 20. Brian, you get 15. And hell, if the game's going great, those numbers are just gonna keep going up. So y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm gonna look at George and go, hey, love you, bro, but this is another blocking game. Need you to get out there and get nasty, get in them trenches and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, so if their linebackers are terrible in coverage, then that means that George Kittle can take advantage of such. You know what I'm saying? I think you got a bot in there from Twitch.
Yeah, from Twitch. Yeah,
Twitch,
bro.
And it's Twitch. You just kind of
it is. All good, bro.
But honestly, for this game, I think it's a situation where, once again, just looking at the numbers and the stats, you've got to be mindful of their tight ends. Yes, this is. I mean, he's not far off. I'm sorry, he's not far off. Our safety play has not been the best. But at the end of the day, we have to be mindful of those tight ends. I'd say you're probably going to have a nice little load with Bethune and Winters, and then make sure that Jair Brown and Malik Mustafa are on top of that when it comes to those tight ends. Or if you feel like that tight end is going to give you issues, throw Chase Lucas out there, man.
Chase Lucas needs to start.
You said what?
He needs to start. Lucas needs to start.
Yeah, I honestly think that Lucas is great. I love Upton Stout. I like what he brings. But Upton Stout is growing as a nickel. He's not there yet. He's going to take some time. And when it comes to tight ends, you got to have a little experience in the league, and you got to have a little weight. Upton Stout, a little, as they say on the field, he's a little light in the ass. And pause. But these tight ends, bro, are almost 220, 230. Some of them 250. But they put him in there because hey, look, he's doing a little bit better than Siegel. Siegel was out there getting murdered every week. They were just destroying that poor kid. I hope his confidence still exists because they were murdering him left and right.
I'm worried about Jair too, bro.
Yeah, Jair, he could become a liability. I mean, at the end of the day, we should win this game. And the way we win this game is very simple. On offense, run the ball down their throats, pass when you need to, stay away from those two DBs, Flott and the other guy that I named. You know, we don't have to deal with Paulson and Debo, so that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But just, you know, hey, run the ball down their throats, and we got 2 viable tight ends too. Why don't you run some 2 tight ends set with Tonjes and Kittle? Mix it up. You know what I'm saying? Make those 2 some primary targets. Hey, your tight ends are good. I'm gonna show you why ours are even better. Do those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, bro.
But
I'm still waking up. Leave me alone, okay, motherfucker?
Yeah, those are the things.
Anyways,
that we should do.
This little Christmas fairy over here.
Yeah, defensively, hey, at the end of the day, period, point blank, just focus on keeping, you know, Tyrone Tracy in check. Make sure Jackson Dart does not get out of that pocket. And on top of that, guard those tight ends. Those are the ones they're going to go to. They do not really throw to their receivers like that. Looking at it, their leading receiver was Malik Neighbors, and then guy right behind him is a tight end. So that tells them.
Hey, Tommy, let's relax here because I know your ass was dressed up as a fairy last night for Halloween.
No.
Just being honest, okay? Anyways, as I was saying, do you think we see Nick Martin out there besides fucking special teams?
No.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know if he's not picking up the defense. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why Luke Gifford and Curtis Robinson keep getting, you know, PT over this kid. I don't know what he's doing. I know he was a tackling machine in preseason. We all saw it. But for the life of me, you know, I do not understand why Nick Martin has not seen it.
I got a little demo. Larry Kruger actually asked this question during the presser yesterday. I'm gonna play it real quick.
Okay.
His 3rd round pick. He's a rookie, but he's not getting on the field over guys like Gifford and Robinson. Is there some dissatisfaction with him, or is there something he's not doing?
No, there's no dissatisfaction. He's there is a bit of a learning curve in terms of where he's come from college to what we're asking him to do, and I think he's done a really nice job. He's got to earn it on special teams with D. Winters being the starter. Like Giff is a big time special teams guy. Curtis Robinson's a big time special teams guy. Now you've got Tatum and you've got D, who are both starters. So for him, he has had to make his way, and then obviously Fred was there before Fred's injury. It was hard. It's hard to justify if you're not the starter and you're not owning special teams. Those guys are always going to get first dibs, and Giff, not to speak for Brant, but he's been one of our top special teams guys. You know, so you got to find a role and you got to make it work with who the active guys are. Now that he's got a chance to be active, he had his first run on special teams. Thought he did a really nice job, and he's going to get another run at it. But unless D gets hurt, God forbid that happens, because D's having a hell of a season, he's going to have to make his way on special teams this year. And if something happens to him, then he'll step in. We'll see how it goes.
Robert, are you dissatisfied at all with
All right.
Martin?
Thoughts?
Coach, that's literal coach speak.
Yeah.
Kid's not good enough. He's not learning. He's not picking up the defense right. Sucks on special teams. That's why you don't see him on the field. That's literally what that said, people, in layman's terms. That literally was a 2 or 3 minute soliloquy of BS instead of just saying, kid ain't good enough. Made a mistake. You know, because Salah's always going to be the most kind person when he tells you someone's trashed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to be the nicest guy about it. He's never going to just basically down a player. You're never going to hear a coach do that unless a player really rubs him the wrong way. And then every now and then, you know, you get a coach to be like, oh, you want to play games? I go out there and tell the media how bad you really are. Salah's just not that guy. It's not in him, you know, but that was just basically coaches speak for. He's not picking up the defense. We just saw him on special teams. We feel he's a liability. So, no, you won't see him on the field. That's basically what that said to me. That's just how I think about it. You know, what did you take from that?
Same thing. Space season not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you haven't seen him out there.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is that when you listen to it, what is he doing? He's raving about Gifford. He's raving about Robinson. And then when it came to Nick Martin, it was like, well,
bro,
no.
you hear it in his voice. He's like, well, he's
Yeah,
he
when you
paused
have to
for like
stop.
10 seconds.
Yeah, when you have to pause
What
and
do I need?
think.
What can I say?
Yeah, how nicely can I put to you? You know, it's like
Mhm.
ending a relationship. How nicely can I say this? It's over. Like, you know, instead of him just going, it's over, he's more so like, hey, I want you to understand something. It's not you, it's me. I have some things I need
It's
to
like
work
a
on.
relationship.
I have some things that, I have to grow into that I feel they're better suited for me to work on these things alone. If that
Mhm.
makes sense. Rather than just being like, look, man, this ain't working out. Let's go.
You
Like,
just be straight up, like on
yeah,
God, like, hey, look, your ass. So you ain't seeing the field.
yeah, pretty much. That's basically what he said in so many words. And I mean, as a player, you got to let that be something that lights a fire in you to get better. You know what I mean? You can't take those words, lightly. You got to go out there. You got to perform and do what you got to do. But honestly, when it comes to the defense, we must be very mindful. Once again, just be mindful of the run. Be mindful of these tight ends because those are the main guys that they target. They don't really throw to those receivers like that. Then again, they don't really have any receivers to throw to. Malik Neighbors was the only one they really did have, and he's gone. So this game should be a win. There should not be a reason that we lose this game at all. We shouldn't get beat up. Our only trepidation here is that field. That's what scares us because we have PTSD from losing Solomon Thomas and Nick Bosa in the same game. I think it was like one play after another.
Yeah, it was
Like
one thing
literally.
after another.
I think Bosa was the first one to get injured, and then not even the next play, Solomon Thomas tears his ACL too. So it is what it is. Another wasted first round pick by this regime, who were definitely told in many ways, don't draft the kid. I remember that draft because I watched it. I said, okay, let me see what Kyle Shanahan gonna do. And when we drafted Solomon Thomas, my first question was, who? Because I didn't know who he was. I had heard nothing about his name throughout the draft. And I'm like, and then to find out only, not even a year later that the scouts were basically out on this dude. So we'll have to see exactly what happens. I do believe we win this game. Not going to do any score prediction because I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, but I do believe that, this is a W rather than an L. What you think?
I think they could bounce back and at least try to get a dub.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice because especially if they want to, that's not going to work. Especially if they want to stay in contention as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they bounce back. I think the game plan's going to be run the ball first. So if that works, dude, we got a possibility that it'll win. That it'll let this team win and have a comfy lead and everything throughout the game, and help out the defense too for sure. Because the way that offense played last week, it did not help out the defense.
Yeah, no, not at all. We cannot have another week where our defense is on the field for 42 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
cannot have that happen.
If you want to have it where it's split,
yeah.
but not.
Especially how hurt we are.
These
on that
guys
line.
need all the rest they can get.
Yeah, and if we could just get this dub this week and then focus on the Rams to where Huff is coming back, Ayuk could possibly come back.
Mm-hmm.
Purdy comes back, then we should be looking good, dude. So
Yeah,
we'll
right
see
now.
what happens.
Yeah, see, and this week, for us, the hard part is the Rams got a gimme as far as their win. They're playing the Saints. That's too easy. You know what I'm saying? The Seahawks and the Commanders should be a good game, but if Jaden Daniels ain't playing, that's an easy dub for the Hawks. And then we can only hope and pray that the Cowboys find a way to beat on the Cardinals. We can only hope.
Funny how
after that 22-point beatdown they took last week.
Yeah,
it was
I know.
ugly, man.
against Denver too.
Oh yeah, yep. So
I just hate how our bye week do so far in the fucking season.
oh my gosh, yeah, that is a bye week that late is really unfortunate. Like last week, it being a bye week actually would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, the
That
fact
would've
that the rest of our division got the bye
been-
week.
that would have been, yeah, that would have been a bye week. We come back, you got Purdy back, you probably got Pearsall back, you got Bryce Huff back. So you got, you got some people coming in, and then probably within like that next week or two, you'd have Brandon Ayuk coming back. You know what I'm saying? So we had, if it would have happened that way, that would have been good because I would think we would just be getting healthy and getting better and keeping moving. So it's a little rough right now, but we'll see what we can do. Tomorrow it's an early morning game for us here on the West Coast, 10 o'clock. So hopefully things will work out and we can, go out there and get that dub. I know the Cardinals are in the the Cardinals are on Monday Night Football, so I don't have to worry about them. I just got to make sure I can take a look at it and watch it. Final notes from you. What you got?
Bounce back, play good ball, don't make stupid mistakes, and have a 50-50 game for both offense and defense.
Yeah, keep that
help each other out.
Keep that TOP right. Make sure you give them brothers a lot of time to be, resting on the sidelines. No more quick 3 and outs. I think one drive was like 48 seconds.
Yep.
Last week, and you cannot do that to a defense. You just cannot. Defense is gonna look at you because like I said, the one thing that's beautiful about our team is our guys take responsibility for what they do and what they don't do. And our offense went out there and basically said our defense did everything that they could. We didn't give them an opportunity. That's our fault. And I love that. But do that this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Be on the field. Like, I need to be on the field like at least a good 30, 35 minutes. Make sure that defense knows that was a one-time thing that happened and it ain't going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? So we should be good. The other thing, tonight, if you are watching people, this is Game 7 of the World Series. It is down to the wire. It is the Toronto Blue Jays and my Los Angeles Dodgers. This game is this is it. This is it. You either win, you lose. For the Blue Jays, I believe it would be it's 32 years since they won. Really, last time they won was like early 90s. I was in elementary school.
They should have won yesterday.
And then, well, so if y'all don't know, B-Dub's a little upset because that ball got stuck.
That's such bullshit, bro.
Ball gets stuck. Hey, that's nothing anybody can control. When the ball gets stuck like that, it is very simply put, that is a ground rule double. It is what it is. You don't like that? Go talk to the MLB commissioner. They make the rules. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. Just like when teams go out there and they win a bunch of games and everybody's like, oh, it was against mediocre competition. Do I pick my competition? Do I make my schedule? If I don't, then I don't want to hear it. If the league tells me who I'm going to play, no matter what sport it is, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, whatever, if the league says you're going to play these crap teams, yeah, I'm going to play these crap teams. I'm going to go in there and try to beat the brakes off of them. I don't make the schedule, so don't be mad at me when I go out there and beat up on useless teams. I didn't make the schedule. I just had to follow it. Even the Niners, our schedule would be in light. Imagine if we had all our weapons healthy. Imagine if we came into this season, Pearsall at 1. Ayuk at 1. Pearsall at 2. We throw Jennings in the slot. Kittle at the tight end. CMC's back fully healthy. We actually did something to do, to boost the O-line play. And we had this schedule? EBA, no. There'd be no reason we should have lost the game. But remember, people, you play who the league puts in front of you. That's all you can do. You can't go out there and tell the league every year I want to play the Bills and the Chiefs and the Eagles, you know what I'm saying, and this team and that team. Like you don't go and choose who you play. So for people who make that, it's like, oh, will you play crap? I play who's on my schedule, bro. Just what it is. So the end of the day tonight, definitely be, everybody will be watching that game. I know all the guys in the chat are rooting against me, and I sorely need this W. I really do. So go Dodgers. I hope and pray that our pitching and our hitting is on point tonight. I don't care if we got to rotate through Yamamoto, Otani, Glass now. Hell, throw Clayton Kershaw out there if you need to. I don't care what we got to do. Just make sure that this pitching is on point so they do not win this game and we can celebrate in their house, on their field, in their country. Because remember, that's Toronto, Canada. Ain't no Toronto in America. Okay? Toronto, Canada. But I'm hoping the Niners get the dub tomorrow, early morning. And as always, go Dodgers.
Yeah, so before we head out, we just recently got sponsored by Fanatics. So if you see the link below, go to fanaticscreators.com/my page/forever faithful pod. You can get some gear I have on my storefront. And it helps us out, it helps Fanatics out, and support your team basically. But link will be in the description below. I just got to edit it after the show. But other than that, it's hopefully the Niners pick up this dub, bounce back tomorrow, and hopefully we enjoy the game too on top of that. So everybody enjoy your day and enjoy the game tonight. And it's still always fuck the Dodgers. Peace.